Hello guys, this is ST Striker, the comics guy, and today I'm going to make a three-part video. This is going to be part one, and it's going to be titled The Essentials, the Epic Collection, and the Showcase Presents. Now the reason why it's called this is because I'm going to debut my comic collection starting with the Essentials, which are basically, well, let's just go in order here. First off, we've got the Essential Ant-Man, which is going to be a movie coming out this summer, I believe. And the Essential line in Marvel is basically a big old phone book chunk comic, and it collects. On this one alone has Tales to Astonish number 27, and also 35 through 69. So there's a lot of material in here. The one downside is, if you can see in here, they're all in black and white, which to me is not really much of a problem. Some comic enthusiasts prefer the color, but I've got a lot of these, and we've got a lot of material to cover. So, going in alphabetical order, obviously, I'm going to start with Marvel, because I'm more familiar with the Marvel universe, and I've got much more of these Marvels than DC's. So, this is Astonishing Ant-Man, which, as I said, is going to be a film this summer. And speaking of films, I'm sure you're all familiar with a movie that's out now, Avengers: Age of Ultron. Well, this is Essential Avengers, and I'm not going to bother with saying how many comics there are, because it's going to take a lot longer if I do that. But this is Avengers Essential 1, Essential Avengers 2, and Essential Avengers 3. Now, between the three of them, this starts at, I think, Avengers number 1. So from 1 to 68. And it also has like a lot of other comics. Like there's an issue of X-Men in here, that because sometimes these books have crossovers, and of course there's annuals. Now then, let me go to the Epic Collection, tying in with the Avengers. This is something that Marvel has more recently put out. It's, I guess the update of the Essential version. And if you'll notice, in here is the same black and white. Well, the Avengers is about the same size. Let's see, Avengers number 150 through 166, annual number 6 through 7, Supervillain Team Up number 9, Marvel 2-in-1, annual number 10. About the same amount of comics. One difference though, they're in color this time. Wow. So the Epic collections are something I've been collecting pretty recently. This is a recent thing for me to be collecting. But I have this one, The Final Threat. I know that there is another of these Epic collection of the Avengers, which I'll be getting someday. Oh. Hold on, our cat wants to go outside, I think. Okay. Okay, here we go with Essential Captain America. Okay, this is volume 1. And again, if I list all the comics here, this video will take a long time. Volume 2 and volume 3. And now we've got the Epic Collection, Society of Serpents, Dawn's Early Light, and what will probably be my favorite is, it's not an essential, or it's not an Epic collection, but it's basically the same idea. It's about the same length, about the same amount of comics. This is called The Captain, which I think this will be my favorite because, and this book collects some comics that I used to have as a kid that got lost or destroyed whenever. So it's good for me to have something like this again. And okay. Next up, we have Essential Fantastic Four. Little known fact, whenever I was a kid, Fantastic Four was my favorite superhero group. And I had a lot of Fantastic Four, so it's good for me to get stuff like this to read. That's Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, and with the Epic Collections is All in the Family, also a great classic TV show if you're familiar with Archie Bunker, and Into the Time Stream, which appears to have cameos by Iron Man and Thor. So, again, like these comics look like $1,000,000. They're in color and just they're everything the Essential line. It's a great update. Speaking of the Fantastic Four, if you like The Thing, he's got his own comic too. It's Marvel 2-in-1 Presents The Thing. And in these comics, he has battles with the Hulk, the Man-Thing, just lots of team-ups and The Thing doing his own thing. I have Volume 1 here, Volume 2, Volume 3, and Volume 4. And no, this is not Batman here. No, it looks like his shadow, but that's actually kind of why I bought this, because I saw the shadow and I was like, what? Batman and Marvel? That's crazy, man. Here's another one that you may not know that is actually a comic book. He was in a movie in the 80s, and some people might be surprised, but Essential Howard the Duck. Here he, remember this guy from the 80s? Yeah, he was a comic book character. A lot of people didn't like Howard the Duck. I did. I liked it. Now, anyway, if my wife can kind of pause the... Okay, sorry about that, guys. I had to get some more of these essentials that I had forgotten that I needed for this video. So here's... I'm kind of going a little bit out of order because I left you off with Howard the Duck. So I'm going from H to G. Essential Godzilla. I'm sure everyone's familiar with Godzilla. I'm actually trying to sell this, but I picked it up just for, you know, S&G. And it's fun for what it is if you're a Godzilla fan. But let me just, okay, I guess I'll put it there. Okay, here we go. Essential Hulk. Hulk smash. That's 1, Volume 2, and even Volume 3. I try to get at least 3 volumes of all of these essentials. Well, with some of them, with like Godzilla and Howard the Duck, that's impossible because there's only one, but for the ones that there are more than one, I try to get at least 3 volumes. In case you haven't tried to figure that out. Okay, next up, Essential Iron Man, which I just got finished reading recently. This is Volume 1. Volume 2. This is actually a thick volume, if you can tell that. Look at the cover to Volume 1 compared to the cover of Volume 2. This is a big, thick book. This might be the biggest Essential book that I've ever seen. It collects Tales of Suspense, number 73 through 99, Tales to Astonish, number 82, Iron Man and Submariner, number 1, and Iron Man, number 1 through 11. That's a lot of material in this book. Okay, now I've got, here it is, an Iron Man, Volume 3. And also with the Iron Man, the Epic Collections. This is War Games. Okay. The Enemy Within. And my personal favorite epic collection title, Stark Wars. Stark Wars, guys. Okay. Next up, I've got... Oh, did I already do the Hulk? Well, speaking of the Hulk, I've got his cousin, the She-Hulk. But this is She-Hulk numbers 1 through 25. Essential Monster Frankenstein Volume 1, which Frankenstein was always my favorite classic monster literature, so I think that's kind of cool that they made a book of him. And Supervillain Team Up Volume 1. Very interesting. Very interesting concept where it pairs supervillains up. These, of course, only have one volume. Okay, next. This is going to be a big collection. X-Men. Okay, first off we have Essential The Uncanny X-Men Volume 1, which this is the actual original team of the X-Men. We have with the Cyclops, Jean Grey as Marvel Girl, Iceman, the Angel, and the Beast, which if you look at the Beast now, he looks nothing like the Beast you're familiar with. And sometimes he don't even talk like the original Beast. Okay. And this one was renamed, it went from Uncanny X-Men Volume 1 to Classic X-Men, because this is like the original first team. And the Classic X-Men Volume 3. Now also, I have Essential X-Men Volume 1, which is not the same as this, which is not the same as the Essential Uncanny X-Men, because this was the original team. This is the team that most everyone is familiar with the additions of Wolverine, Storm, Nightcrawler, Nightcrawler here, and Colossus. I forget what this guy's name is, but he was only in the team for about 1 or 2 issues. So, Essential X-Men Volume 2, which, if I'm not mistaken, I believe this is the Dark Phoenix Saga. And X-Men Volume 3, featuring Dr. Doom. Very awesome supervillain, by the way, Dr. Doom. And if you like X-Men, we also have Essential Wolverine. Everybody's favorite X-Men character. Is Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3. And that covers all of my Marvel material. Now to DC. DC has a similar concept with the Essentials, and they call it the Showcase Presents. So the Showcase presents Shazam. I don't know how many people have heard of this, but Shazam is, this is actually going to be a movie, I think either next year or maybe the year after, featuring The Rock. At one point he was even more popular than Superman. Speaking of Superman, here he is. Some of Superman's early material. Volume 1 of Showcase Presents. And I forget who this guy is. Brainiac. Yeah, this is the original Brainiac. I can't believe I forgot who that guy is. And Superman battling King Kong for some reason. No, I'm just kidding. A giant gorilla. And Superman fighting guys shooting green kryptonite bullets. And Superman just chilling, hanging out. Volume 4. And my final DC, as you can tell I have a lot more Marvel than DC, is something that I actually bought for my wife, which was Showcase Presents Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman, my wife's really getting into, but she doesn't like the format, the black and white format of this. So, but anyway, it's so cool because I have some big comic books. Here's Volume 1, Volume 2, and Volume 3 of Wonder Woman. And that concludes part 1 of this 3-part series. So keep an eye out for part 2 coming up sometime. Until then, see you later, guys.